Hence, here is EA Crespo with Perspective Block X Lakers-fandom, PXLF. Right, so we have the game today with the Nuggets. Nuggets, um, positive for us. They have no. They're not a big defensive team right now. That may change, like everything in basketball. Some teams start at the top and finish at the end. Some teams start at the end and recover. I don't know if the Lakers are going to be that case right now. I hope it, because obviously Lakers fan forever. But the most realistic thing to think about is that if there is no change of in the roster, um, there unless everybody starts shooting better, I don't know what's going to happen with the team. Other than that, maybe uh, like JJ Redick said, celebrating LeBron for his achievements. But I'm not even sure if LeBron wants to do that. I mean, like, I'm sure he wants to pass Kareem and he wants to do all these things. But, knowing what we know about LeBron, I know he wants a championship. And he wants to solidify his claim to be a GOAT. And so he knows that he needs the that championship uh, for that. So let's start. Anthony Davis might play today, but still he's doubtful. Um, JTA is doubtful too. Uh, and so I don't know if the injuries, if there's any on Denver Nuggets, but uh, just going into the game, you have a very athletic defensive team on the Lakers, and then you have a very uh, tall team for the Nuggets. And well, that's going to be a problem for the Lakers until they change the way they are doing things in terms of trying to be short most of the time, not having the two big men. Right now, they can't, because either Anthony Davis plays tonight, and if he plays, he needs to play center because the other center is Damian Jones. And after that, the tallest guy would be probably LeBron. Wendy and Gabriel too. But aside from that, the Lakers are going to have to play an aggressive defense. They are going to have to rely a lot in fast breaks. The players, there's some people talking about how how is it that the how the front office is going to deal with all these problems. And I don't know. I don't know what they are going to do. The front office, I don't know how the fans will react to the front office today when they arrive. Rob Pelinka, there's a lot of people really mad about what's going on and about why the Lakers didn't make transactions for Russ. Why is this lingering suffering in order. They are not pleasing Ross, they are not pleasing LeBron, and they are not pleasing AD, which is the let me this a little bit. So that's supposed to be the angle of this. The angle is that the Lakers want to remain being looked as as a front office that cares about their stars, because that's what the Lakers do. They basically shop around for stars, uh, star power to boost the team. The problem is that in this case, they are not looking good for anybody. Like, they are not looking good for Ross. They are not looking good for LeBron, and they are not looking good for Anthony Davis. So some fans have actually um, asked to blow it up and trade everybody and start over again, because nobody's been pleased. But the problem is the problem is not the players. You know, Russ in a 5-out type of offense with shooters is going to be a whole different player, right? He's going to start, like, people are going to start on the other teams. They're going to have to decide if they want to stop the lanes for Russ, or stop or be in front of 3-point shooters. That, like, you can't do both things in that kind of offense. Russ is going to be a killer, right? But that's not what we have here. So this is a disservice to Russ. And on the other hand, it's a disservice to LeBron, because he was promises they would do everything for him to get rings and to get whatever he need to win, which has not been the case at all. The first year, with Anthony Davis, awesome. We got to the championship, and we got to the championship without that many shooters, and um, without a third star. There was no third star there. Um, at least, at that point, Kuzma wasn't seen. He was probably seen as a third guy, but never panned the way people wanted. And finally, Kuzma was out. Uh, so the next big star that they tried to was Dennis Schroeder, and Dennis Schroeder was offered a very good contract, $80 million for 4 years, and he rejected it. And you know the story about that. Now he's back on the team, and I don't mind if they offer him that much money if he can actually deliver. But we won't know that until he gets to the court. Now we know he's good. I don't know if you saw the world, uh, the basketball um, competition. He looked like a real star there. So hopefully this translate back here into the Lakers. And so there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of question marks of how even the fans are going to react in this game. Because if the Lakers fall in this game, which there's a big probability, because they have the MVP on the other team. You got to remind people that Jokic is the MVP, and put for at least for the last 2 seasons. So it's interesting that in Las Vegas the bets are pretty much like Nuggets by 3. I would have thought it was going to be Nuggets by a lot more. Um, I'm always going to be Lakers win, type of guy, and the Lakers can win it. They just have to make the baskets. Their defense is there, but their defense intensity is gonna go down if they don't get the victories, because you can't get yourself to make so much effort and having the same uh, uh, being defeated over and over again, and not have what kind of motivation is there. So as the as the as they rack up losses, their defensive intensity is going to suffer, and as the intensive. All right, let me get. Can you hear me?
What's up, brother? Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, hey, what's up? So,
Nothing much.
hey, so what do you think the fans are gonna react to? Like, there's a lot of people like angry at everybody, like at Darvingham and uh, the front office. I am very angry at the front office, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, if we ultimately they have the final say on things. So, if I were to be mad at anybody, it would be the front office mostly at this point, man. But I still say, I still say it's kind of early, man. Still kind of early, man. Let's give the team, a certain amount of time, get their stuff together, get back healthy. There's still definitely a lot of issues, but
Yeah,
but I mean, compared to last season, at least this team is not getting blown out. At least this team is not getting blown out and embarrassed on a
yeah.
nightly basis. Pretty much, this team has been in every game, and I believe they really should have won at least two of these games. Um, so although they're off to a horrible start, worst in the league. Um, I don't think it's quite time to panic yet. But to answer your question, the fans they're gonna go crazy. They're already going crazy.
Yeah.
But the front office, man, they've been pretty slow and tactical about how they're approaching things, and I don't expect that to change.
By the way, um, for those who doesn't know, my friend here is AC from LA Sports Live. If you have a chance to check out his channel, a lot of the news that I pick up are from him, and so yeah, I needed to plug you, and
Hey, I appreciate that, my brother.
um,
Appreciate that, man.
I got some comments here about my Laker hat, and about Rob Pelinka, but yeah, I didn't get what they are saying about Rob Pelinka. But this is a problem like that could be fixed if there's some guys in our team that are better shooters than what they have been in these few games.
Right,
Like um, what's his name? Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn is pretty good
right.
shooter. So I'm guessing at certain point this is going to
Mm.
start showing up.
Yeah. To be honest with you, um, and by the way, they just announced the starting lineup. Anthony Davis is going to be back in the starting lineup at center with LeBron, Troy Brown Jr., Lonnie Walker, and Pat Beverly.
Oh,
Uh, so AD is going to start. We'll see how long he lasts, but he's going to start. But to your point, basically everybody on the team is right now shooting career lows and threes. So I think me and you are kind of thinking alike. I mean, collectively, they're off to a horrible start shooting the ball, but you got to figure at some point these guys they will get back to shooting their career averages, you know, and or hell, I'll even take league average, career average or league
yeah,
average. And then, I mean, you just look at it, man. That's why I'm a little bit more optimistic, maybe than other people. But I'm just saying, man, like at least few of these games, if the Lakers just shoot league average or their career average from threes instead of this abysmal percentage that they're shooting, they win those games very easily. So I don't think the historic low 3-point shooting percentage as a team. I don't think it's gonna carry on that much longer. I don't think there will be a great 3-point shooting team, but I think they'll be right around league average or a little bit less.
yeah, yeah. Well, one of the I think one of the reasons is that people are angry is because they don't understand what what is it that is making uh like for example the Jazz deal with uh Bogey, and then the Jazz went in a different direction.
Right.
But the thing is that after that, it was uncovered that in the negotiation, the Jazz offer a 23rd first rounder for the 27 and 29.
Right.
So they offer a first rounder too, and the Lakers turned it down.
Yeah,
And that's
I actually did a little bit of research on that, and I think the Jazz. Well, first of all, they have multiple 2023 first round picks, at least two or three, and the only one that they own outright is their pick, of course. But I think they have three more in 2023.
uh-huh.
So I mean, yeah, it was reported that they did offer a first round pick, but we don't know which one of those picks it would have
Okay.
been. And I know Danny Ainge. I mean, come on now, Danny Ainge. You
Yeah.
think you pretty? I'm pretty sure he was offering the Lakers, the weakest of those three first round picks, right?
Okay.
So yeah, on the surface it sounds good. Yeah, they were going to get one 2023 pick, but like I said, when I did a little bit digging, I saw that they had multiple first round picks, and there's really no way of knowing exactly when that, uh, which one of those picks they would have gotten. And I mean, yeah, you would have got a first round pick, but let's just say uh, one of those they got picks from Minnesota, right? So let's say if one of those picks were from Minnesota, and let's just say Minnesota, they finished in the top four.
Yeah.
Well, then, that would have been, and then they say, okay, well, Lakers, you take this pick. So that means the Lakers would have picked, yeah, they would have had a first round pick, but it would have been a late first round pick. It would have been 24, 25, something in that range. So, I mean, it's still a first round pick, but it's not like, it's probably not, probably would have been, not have been as good as what people are projecting or, what they think how good the Lakers 2027 2029 pick to be. So I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, they could have done a deal for basically just one pick, but there's always a backstory behind it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but if you get Bogey and you get Clarkson, and what was the other guy, Beasley?
Yeah, I believe Beasley. Yeah.
Yeah. So that this is the one thing I don't like really get. When we won the 2020, right? The
Right.
Lakers the Lakers had two stars and a good cast.
Right.
And so if you do that trade specifically, um, or the one with the Spurs, you would end up with a good cast and two stars. But the thing is, apparently the front office didn't like their championship team because they pretty much blew it up to have this other new team. And granted, that team was doing great until uh, LeBron and AD got injured, and it
Mm-hmm.
was that first round that we were pretty much beating
The
the
Suns. The
Suns.
Suns.
Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Suns, and the Suns went to the finals.
Right.
So it was still a championship caliber team. But then the next the next time, I mean, they fill it up with names, but it
Mm-hmm.
was it was it was not a balanced team, and it was all offense, no defense, and even the all offense didn't work because it was too many veterans. They would run out of gas at the end. Um, and you like if you build a team, you have to have the coach mentality in you have to know what your coach is good at and not. And Frank Vogel was really good at defense and organizing defense and all that. But then his offensive schemes were were not moving. They weren't
Right.
like he didn't have many action plays. He didn't have any like it was all almost like one thing all the time. And so the front office didn't take that in account for anything because they built the team was designed for Frank Vogel to fail because it was the type of team Frank Vogel is not good with.
You're speaking of last year's team.
Last year's. Now
Yeah.
we have um, they interview Darvingham, and
Mm-hmm.
while Darvingham is a defensive coach too, his offense is run to a 4-out 1-in who
Mm-hmm.
needs shooters. Like you don't exactly need shooters uh, so much if everybody knows their position, but that's a problem also. Aside from that, is that the players they don't know the plays well
Mm-hmm.
because if you see it in the games, Birmingham and LeBron James have to always point out where should everybody be, and you can see they are confused. They don't know where to move. All that kind of stuff. So that's another thing that if as time passes, that's going to get better because they are going to
Right.
learn where to stand and all that. But from the front office part, like That's bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is let's see, uh, I guess you could say 2 years in a row where they put teams together, kind of go directly against the grain of what the coaches are good at. I mean, just this season, for example. I mean, I know you're mentioning Darvingham's system, but and we've seen that system work with the Bucks. But the Lakers don't really have the personnel, from
Yeah.
what I've seen so far,
Well,
to run that system.
the thing with that system is it could work with driving lanes, but if
Hmm.
you don't, like, if you stand in the improper place and you move it to the place that it's not supposed to be, you're gonna close the lanes, and that's been happening in the game. Like they are not like the guards in Darvingham system. Guards need to screen a lot, and if you are a guard and you don't screen, you're gonna get the driving lanes closed, and that's something that is happening. That's why Darvingham was talking about Russ needing to screen. Is because like he could be a passer or he could be a roller, but if he doesn't screen, that will never happen. And I've seen in some place where where LeBron tells somebody to screen and they don't know where to screen, so he has to change the play right out of the bat. And I've seen Patrick Beverly also doing that, like telling somebody to screen. They don't know where to screen, and it becomes a forced shot. And as long as they uh, happen, I got a comment about what about Matt Ryan? He's a shooter. That's a question I have too. Matt Ryan. I don't know what he's averaging, like 5 minutes a game.
Hmm.
And I understand he comes from the G League and all that, but the times that he's been there, he knows where his position is, where his proper place for him to shoot, and when he's being, I think he's being accurate. I mean, he's not been making every shot, but he's not an 100% 3-point shooter. Nobody is.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I don't know. I'm not, and I don't want to speak blind without looking at the numbers, but I think he shot okay. But my issue with the Matt Ryan is, he's for the most part one dimensional player, man. I mean, you can see him when he's in there. Um, and, he knows he's clear what his role is, and he's itching and ready to shoot. But
Mm.
another thing I noticed is, when they do get the ball, and I think they got him scouted pretty well because when they do get the ball, they don't just leave him open; they guard him. And so I see a lot of time when he gets the ball, if they get to him quick enough, he'll jack it up. But if somebody gets up on him quick and fast, he can't do nothing with the ball. He can't do nothing. He always has to pass it because to me his game is just very one dimensional. I mean, he can't really put the ball on the floor and drive it. He's just going to stand there and shoot. And so
Yeah,
I think they've already got him scouted out as just stay in his face, and he won't be able to do anything. He's going to be forced just to get. And obviously the coaching staff sees that as well, so that maybe that might be the reason why um he's not getting a lot of time. But I don't know, man. I didn't see the whole game, the last game, but I saw the little bit I did see. I did see William Gabriel, being productive out there, um, very similar like he was in the preseason. But then when you go back and look at the previous games, he wasn't playing a whole lot. So I don't know, man. I think the bottom line is Darvin Ham is still trying to he's still trying to piece this together, figure
Yeah,
out his lineups, figure out his
yeah.
rotations,
I,
and
I heard,
it's gonna take a while.
I already heard people say like wanting to fire Darvingham, which to me it doesn't, you know, it's not, it doesn't make sense.
No, and that's not gonna happen. They just he has a 4 year contract. So there's no way. So anybody listening or thinking that they're gonna fire Darvin Ham, don't hold your breath. The man has a 4 year contract. They are not gonna fire him, and they're paying him for another 3 years. You know,
Yeah,
without getting any out of work out of him. So no, he will not be fired. He's gonna be here a while. So y'all might, if you don't like it, you might as well get used to it.
yeah.
And
But
that
I
would be
told
that
you,
would be that would be stupid. That would be stupid to fire a coach after 5 games in the first season. That would be real stupid.
yeah, and the other thing is Darvingham is still implementing a new system, and this system, like he's trying to implement a system in a team that not only is at the bottom, but it's a team that have 3 stars on that team. So it's like so difficult because you got 3 guys that should be, in theory, a team with 3 stars should be up there, in theory, right? But these 3 stars specifically, all of them need floor spacing for them to shine best, right?
Yeah. Well,
You don't
um,
have that floor spacing
no, we
from
don't.
shooters. So
We don't. And then people wonder why. People wonder why Damian Jones wasn't playing a lot and all that kind of stuff. Is just because what you just mentioned.
yeah,
Um, we gotta, in order to give a fair assessment of this team, man, we just gonna have to wait about 20 games.
yeah,
Hopefully the Lakers can win some games here and there. I think they will. I
yeah,
think they will. I think they will. Um, Nobody likes to really talk about it, but I think the Lakers starting off probably have one of the toughest schedules. Um, we're not
yeah.
looking for
That's true.
we're not really looking for excuses, but it is what it is. This is a brand new team yet again. And I don't even think I'd be curious to know how much of the new offensive system that Darvin Ham is actually even given to them at this point. Because I would venture to think he hasn't really given them the whole complete playbook because it's a lot to digest.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
and then with people in and out, LeBron's played every game, but AD's missed games. Russ missed a game. Uh, it's just I just think the team just needs more time, man. Personally, and um, a player that I thought and probably Darvin Ham believed was going to be a big part of his rotation that he hasn't had all year, and that's Dennis Schroeder.
Uh-huh.
Dennis Schroeder is very familiar with what Darvin Ham wants to do, but he hasn't been available because of the thumb
Yeah,
issue. So just a lot of circumstantial stuff. And the thing about the 3 stars, I'm not a big fan of that because uh, I believe you need depth in order to
and
go far.
to tell you the truth, I mean, 2 big stars is enough for
Right,
for big stars. Two
right.
of them is enough, and especially if one of them is LeBron James.
Yeah,
I would build a team with 2 stars. Like if you have LeBron and AD, all I would care to bring is like 4, maybe 3 point guards, who actually play well without the ball, and pretty much everything wings that can shoot. Like if you can, if you got that,
Mhm.
you'll probably have a championship team. And
You, I think at this point in LeBron's um, career, yeah, he can still put up numbers. Like he still can put up numbers. I believe until the day he plays his last game, scoring and doing this and doing that, it's still going to be easy for him just because he's just that talented. But I don't think he can. I don't think he can carry a team as the number one option for 82 games anymore. It's just my
no,
opinion.
that's
But
why AD was supposed to,
right,
take the baton, but he
right.
has.
But what I think now with LeBron's age, um, and with AD's, with his with his issues, now I don't even understand why the Lakers would even think about putting a third star on his team. Now to me, now more than ever, LeBron needs the help around him of the whole complete team
Yeah.
with depth, not two good players underneath him and then the rest minimum guys. No, LeBron needs one star player, Anthony Davis. Then he needs let's see, then he needs another guy that makes about $18 million a year, another guy that makes about 15, and then two or three guys that make 8. And then the rest could be, minimal players. What I'm just saying is the team just needs depth. It's too much on him, too taxing on him in order to, yeah, he can go out and still score 30 points. But now I don't know if he can still go out and go score 30 and 35 points and dominate big games and control big games against, um, some of the better teams in the league. Yeah, he may do it on occasion, but the rigors of 82 game season, I think, is just too much. And if the Lakers do this again next season, trying to do the 3 stars again, I mean, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like one of the things that bother me is that I don't know exactly what direction the front office want to go, in the sense of what are the blueprints they are using to build teams. Because one thing, for example, in terms of scouting, they are really good at finding diamonds in the rough. Like
Right.
Austin Reeves, and you see other, like,
Hmm.
I don't understand last uh second round pick the Lakers got. And I'm not against Max Christie. I think he has potential, but I thought that they were gonna go out and find a sharp shooter.
Mm. Sometimes what they do is, I don't know. I don't know what the thinking was behind that. I mean, like you said, I mean, I like Max Christie, but I don't think they really
Remember the
drafted
names
him.
right now, but
Yeah,
there were
but
yeah,
I don't think I don't think they're expecting him to make an impact this season.
I
So I mean,
understand, but
go ahead.
he's not a shooter. He's not a 3 point shooter. Like
Hmm.
he's got a form. His form of shooting is correct, but he doesn't make them. You
Right.
know, and and there were other options. I can't remember the names, but there were other options in the draft that could fill. Yeah, there was somebody who was 6'8", and he had like a really sniper type of shooting, and he was around the second uh, draft, and he wasn't. he wasn't taken until after the Lakers chose Max Christie. And I was like,
Mm,
I don't remember whose name was it, but I was almost absolutely sure they were going to get him. And they didn't.
mm,
They got Max Christie. And I was like, why? Why is this guy more important than a guy who can shoot threes like crazy? And I knew that guy wasn't a bad defender, you know?
mm.
So I don't know. I don't know what, you know. To me that was a very difficult thing to understand.
Yeah. Well, I think the jury is still out on Max Christie, and I'm sure the Lakers realize that, and then that's why they wait like 3 games, and then they decide to send him down because he needs to play, right? He needs to play in
Yeah,
order to develop and get better, and the Lakers recognize that, and that's what they did. But I don't. The pick got. I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying. There were guys who maybe kind of fit into the mold that maybe the type of player or style that would help the Lakers, but I don't know if the Lakers probably didn't think that those guys could come in right at this moment and help the team. And not that Max Christie can, but I mean, maybe I don't know, man. I don't know
yeah,
what the thinking. I don't know what the overall thinking behind that is. I mean, late second round picks. I mean, that's it's kind of difficult,
yeah.
you
Well,
know.
in the but it was um it's been a few times where I seen the front office picking somebody in the draft that doesn't fit, what they would need to have. And so it's weird to me. Like finally they picked uh, Cole Swider, right? And I know his defense is bad, and mostly because he is more of a paint defender than
Mm-hmm.
he can defend a little bit the paint, and he's done a lot of block shots in the when he was in the NCAA on the like on the side of the paint. But obviously, he's not a good defender if you are going to put him to defend wings. But
No.
he's a great 3-point shooter.
Well,
And that's somebody that you would think, well, at least as a power forward, maybe in a small line as a center, you could use him.
I think this is what I saw. What I saw is the Lakers gave Cole Swider every opportunity this preseason to do something, and I believe he had, was it the first game or the second game? He had a really good game in the preseason, and we haven't really heard too much from Cole Swider since. I mean,
Yeah,
his shooting has been his shooting has been off ever since. Even throughout the season, these 5 games, and now he's hurt now, anyways. So, what is it? A foot issue with him.
I,
So,
I
I mean, yeah. So I don't know, man. It might be a while before we see him, but like what I was saying, they gave him a lot. He got a lot of playing time in the preseason, man. He never did. He never was able to put a string of games together, like back to
yeah,
back to back. Where he shot. He
yeah,
wouldn't even have to shoot. He just it was just very inconsistent.
yeah. But I mean, even though his record, like he is a lifetime 44% shooter.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
it's
and and see, Cole Swider, he's very similar to Matt Ryan. And like I said, man, when I watch these guys play,
Yeah, yeah,
it's the exact same thing. They're out there to do one thing and one thing only, and you can see uh, Cole Swider, the same thing, man. He's got those hands ready to catch the ball so he can jack it up.
yeah.
But uh,
I
but
think I
he can't do much more. He can't do he, against the talent in the NBA right now.
yeah,
He can't do much more. You know,
yeah,
other than catch and shoot. That's part of the issue.
and in the case of Matt Ryan, Cole Swider can a little bit drive the ball better,
Yeah,
but Matt Ryan, I haven't seen enough of him, but what I've seen, he doesn't look like he can do that well at
you know
all.
what the Lakers? Here's the thing about the Lakers, man. The Lakers they needed to make a Russell Westbrook trade over the offseason
Yeah,
because all these guys we talking about, Cole Swider, Matt Ryan, Austin Reeves or whatever, you name it, all these guys on the Lakers, man, they're not supposed to be uh top of the rotation guys.
yeah,
They're supposed to be into the rotation guys.
yeah.
They're supposed to be into the rotation guys. And that's why they needed to make the Russell Westbrook trade to bring in two more
So yeah,
starters.
so
To bring in
and
two more starters.
what do you think about the Spurs, the trade?
Um I don't think much about it because to me, I mean, it's interesting now. Now they're talking about um because our big men are supposedly having issues or whatever. Now they're talking about uh putting Hurdle in the deal, right?
Yeah,
With the Spurs. So I mean that's kind of interesting, man. But I don't think the Lakers are really interested. Uh, I don't think the Lakers are really interested in that because I believe they're trying to keep the books clear for next season, and I don't think they're going to bring in any players that have extra years on the books
yeah.
unless it has to be a certain caliber type of player. For them to make a trade for, and Doug McDermott, you know, he yeah, he fits a need, but if you get him, you know, that takes a nice chunk out of your available money next offseason because he has additional years on his contract. So I just don't think the Lakers. I think that's just the main reason why they've been hesitant to pull any deals. Is one, they're only going to get one chance to get it right, and for two, most of these players and a lot of these deals that they've been mentioning have multiple years left on their contract, and I just don't think the Lakers are going to do that unless they're like pretty certain that that player is worth it. You know,
Um, do you think they are trying to see if they can get Kyrie next year?
I don't know, man. I'm I'm not going to have an opinion on Kyrie if they. My opinion on Kyrie is this: if they get him, they get him. But to me, like I said earlier, I'm just right now. I'm not feeling the 3 stars. I'm just
Yeah,
not. I'm just not. So I rather if the Lakers have 30 $35 million to spend next off season, I want them to get excuse me, at least three very good, talented role players and and run that back and see how it goes.
yeah.
I wouldn't
Three,
want them
three wings.
because yeah, because I wouldn't want them to save all their money for Kyrie. If they do that, and then that's it. That's all they can get basically,
Yeah,
and then we're back where we're starting off from again from here, surrounding Kyrie, AD, and LeBron with minimum guys. And at some point, man, this shit it's got to stop, bro. It's got to stop with all these minimum guys, a new group every year. Uh, that's getting old, and LeBron is getting older, man. So now that's I'm done with that, man. They need to just get a good, nice group of players, keep them, and or whatever. But just bringing in a bunch of new minimum guys every year, man, that's not gonna work. Not gonna work.
Yeah. Well, it's it's the front office. I think they have gotten themselves into a bit of a hole because this is what I think. They are trying to make their stars happy because that's kind of the brand of the Lakers front office. We're family. We take care of our stars. That's why you
Hmm.
should come here because we're going to treat you very well. The problem is you can't do that to Russ and not to, like if you are doing it to Russ, then you are not doing it to LeBron or Anthony Davis. If you are doing it to LeBron, then it's not going to fly for Russ because they don't fit together. So I know LeBron wanted Russ, but if I'm the owner and I'm taking the tab for that player, I would have taken DeMar DeRozan no matter what LeBron would have said. Because with DeRozan instead of Russ, and who else they were going to pick? Well, they probably would have kept Caruso. Now
Yeah,
you have a player who can make his own, get his own buckets. Um, in that team, yeah, defense would have been still bad, but then you have to have, the nightmare of having to guard uh, um, AD, LeBron, DeRozan, and whichever the guards were. Which, by the way, one of the guards was um, Rondo at that point. Remember, Rondo started with the team, and then he asked to be traded. I don't know if you remember that. That so like the front office would have done all that understanding, what the end game was. I think they would have probably, I don't know, they would have probably have done better. What do you think?
well, I mean, I agree. I mean, but you know what? We've heard so much talk about this DeRozan thing, and then a lot of people saw him on JJ Redick's podcast. But to me there was still a lot of unanswered questions about that. I mean, theoretically, like what you were saying, yeah, that would have worked out better personnel wise for the Lakers. But then I remember reading something or seeing something saying that if the Lakers would have made that deal, they would have been hard capped. So you definitely don't want the team to be hard capped. So I really don't know. I really don't know like
Yeah, but the
the,
Rosen
the
said that he would have taken less money.
yeah, but that's what he says. But how much less? Because you see what he ended up getting. So Chicago ended up overpaying for him. So I mean, yeah, he says he would have took less, but I that right there, man, I'm like, we're only hearing one side of the story. We don't know what the Lakers side of the story is, the why they decide not to do that. So, um, on paper, in theory, it sounds a lot better. Sounds like that that would have worked a whole lot better, man. But seeing how things worked out anyway with all the injuries, with LeBron and AD. Honestly, to me, it's just kind of a moot point. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. All the
Yeah,
other guys got hurt anyway, and then the rest of the team built around them was trash. So if you would have had LeBron, AD, and DeMar DeRozan with the geriatric old folks home, I mean, all the other older players that we had around them, I don't, I don't know how much better they would have been.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good point. Um, the thing that makes a little bit believable, and I'm not saying that it's the way um, Caruso tried to negotiate by also taking less money to go to be back with the Lakers, and the Lakers refused to do it. And originally it was said that he was going to cost them a lot, but but it wasn't that much really. And
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't think it's a situation where the Lakers don't like Caruso, but it's just, we know the Lakers are over the cap, and so we know they're a taxpayer. So I don't think it has anything to do whether they like Caruso or not. But I think they just kind of look at it. They kind of looked at it as, do we want to be paying essentially double because we're over the electric tax? So we're essentially paying Alex double trick or double, whatever we negotiate with him. We're damn near paying double because we got to pay the luxury tax. So
uh,
I think the way the Lakers look at it is, you know, yeah, okay, we don't mind paying some tax, paying luxury tax, but we're only going to do it for certain players. And I guess they just figured that Alex Caruso was not one of the guys that they would, was willing to be paying all those taxes for. That's just the way I saw it. That's the way
yeah.
I saw their decision making.
Was that was Ross already? I can't remember if Ross was already. Uh,
Yeah, he was already on team because remember Russ got traded. Russ got traded
oh
on the
yeah, yeah.
draft. So by that time, free agency hadn't even started yet. So Russ was already on the team, and so right, bam! As soon as Russ gets to the team, the Lakers know they're over the cap, and even to keep their own player, like right, they had the bird rights for Caruso, but they
Uh-huh.
just decided, hey, we don't like him like that. Yeah, he's a nice player, but he might not. Do we really want to spend $22 million a year on him? Salary plus
Fu-
tax.
Funniest thing is that now Caruso fits better with the Lakers than Ross did,
Um, yeah,
and
man.
for so
Yeah,
much
yeah,
less.
yeah. It just, this the Russell Westbrook man was just the deal was just a big mistake. Just didn't work for the
Yeah.
Lakers. It backfired. But you know what? Now look what happened in the last game. And I didn't see the whole last game. But what if last year? I mean, the team was just trash last year. But
Mhm.
okay, what if the Lakers decided to just? I mean, we had a whole bunch of injuries, but let's just say, look. I mean, look how the last game worked. Russ came off the bench, and from what I saw, this is just one game. Um, but to me, he had his definitely had his best offensive game of the season, but he looked the most comfortable offensively speaking coming off the bench playing with the second unit.
And
So,
I think that
mhm,
was a great move. Not
yeah,
only because he's going to be more effective that way, and he might like it, you know. And who knows? This team gets really good with Russ coming from the bench. I don't know. It makes sense because now the ball is in his hands. He's calling the shots. That's where he's at best.
Man, all they have to do is make some shots, bro. he's
Yeah,
gonna get them. He's gonna get them the ball, man. I mean, we still saw some of the turnovers and all that kind of stuff, man. But still, we're only still 5 games in, man. This team is still getting used to each other. So I
well,
think I think the bench thing is going to work out great. It's just you just have to give it time.
yeah. You know how Anthony Davis said that he just wanted Russ to be Russ. Well, that's a way for them to have him.
Right,
You know,
right. And then to be fair, Russ can never be Russ on the floor with LeBron and AD.
exactly.
He can never be never had and to be fair to him, he's never had the opportunity to be. So the like you just said, the best move is to put him on a bench, and we hope and pray that Kendrick Nunn and Austin Reeves can make open jump shots, and then all
Yeah,
of a sudden everything looks a whole lot better.
yeah. You know, Austin Reeves has had like last year and the year before. Um, he was his 3 point shot wasn't there, but in college he had a season that he was 50% from 3 point. So if he gets to 36%, that would be great.
Like we
Because,
said earlier, man, if they could just shoot league average,
yeah,
the conversation, you know what I'm saying? The conversation right now is a whole lot. The conversation will be a whole lot different. The Lakers will be sitting around 500, 3-2, 2-3, or whatever, and you know they would have to talk. In my opinion, they would have to talk about the two teams that to me, even though Lakers haven't won a game, but to me, the Clippers and the Brooklyn Nets are in way worse shape than the Lakers
yeah, yeah,
because they're in way worse shape because the Clippers they just say what you want about the Lakers haven't got blown out like the Clippers did today, not even close. And the Lakers are a brand new team. What excuse do the Clippers have for getting blown out? They
no,
they they, they pretty much got they had Paul George and they had supposedly the deepest team in the NBA that was together all last season. And
yeah,
what the excuse do they have? The Lakers for the third year, fourth year in a row got a brand new team. You expect them to have growing pains. The Clippers should have been ready to take off.
yeah.
So
Yeah, they are supposed to be the championship team of this year.
yeah, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. If you watch the Clippers, man, one of the things that I saw is look, they may be the deepest team in the NBA, but from what I've seen, they got too many players. They got too many players who can play, and the roles aren't. Anyway, we won't talk about too much Clipper talk. They suck. But anyway, this Lakers team, they'll get it together, man. I think
Yeah,
they'll get it together.
I think they're going to surprise people. I don't know how big the surprise will be, but I know they will because it was the same as 2020. Nobody was getting them like if you hear the sportcasters of pretty much every channel is like, yeah, they are gonna be good, but they will not be able to pass the Clippers, and uh, I think they had him like the fourth best team in the on the Western Conference. not in on the NBA, as the fourth. When the Lakers started winning, and before the break, uh, they beat the Clippers, the Bucks, and the Nuggets, right? One right
Yeah,
after the other.
yeah.
Then all of a sudden, they might be contenders. you know?
Man, we knew. Look, me and you, we knew way before that the
Yeah,
Lakers were the best team. It
yeah,
just took them a while. They were already playing good, but it just took them a while to get the cohesion or whatever. And then, like you said, towards the end, they started beating everybody, even the good teams. Because remember earlier in the season, the knock was, oh, they can't beat the good teams. Well, at the end, they beat all the good teams back to
yeah.
back. So, but yeah, that's the formula they got to get back to, bro. They got to get back to the formula of two-star players and just surround a good cast around them, man. That's the formula they got to get back to.
Well, I mean, if Ross wants to be in this team, he should take the better minimum next year, so we can get some shooters so he can
Well, we'll see. That's
run the second unit.
man. I'm just trying to salvage this year, bro. We worry
Yeah,
about next year when we get to it, and
yeah,
Russ, he better if he's smart, he better embrace this role.
yeah.
It's coming off the bench, man, because uh, there's
He
been a
looks
lot of
comfortable.
been a lot of negativity surrounding him, man, and I don't know. He'll be a free agent next season, but I don't know how many teams are going to be come knocking on his door. I don't know, but that's why I just say I think it's his best interest to put his best foot forward in whatever role the Lakers give him, and
Yeah, and he's got his Hall of Fame pretty much. He's valid assured as a Hall of Famer. I would do whatever it takes if I were him just to get the championship, even if it's coming from the bench or whatever role I need to do, because having a championship, it's always something that take whatever your uh, it's kind of like a proof, like, yeah, I did all these things, but I got a championship. You know, like Oscar Robertson. If it wasn't because of Kareem, Oscar Robertson would have been more forgettable than what he was. He won a championship with Kareem in with the Bucks, and
right,
that's
right,
kind of something that saved his legacy.
right,
Um,
right,
and it wasn't because he was bad or anything. He was in bad teams, but it would be harder to talk about somebody that is legendary if that person didn't have championships with him. Um, like for example, nobody really have paid attention of how great was, for example, Charles Barkley, because he never got the chip, or the all the Utah Jazz from the Karl Malone era. They
hmm
were a great team, but nobody really remembers them that much because they never got the championship. And
right,
so,
right,
yeah, so sometimes, like at a certain moment, you have to choose. Like, is it gonna be be like the shining star of a team that never gets a championship, or I'll take this time the role player job because I've been the star for many years and just get that. ring. You know,
Well, I don't know. According to Russ, that's not on his top of his list. So, you know, I don't know. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. That's if that were you, that's how you would play it. But if you listen to Russ, those kind of things are not is not what motivates him. So, we'll see what happens, man. But I think what you said earlier is right. I think Russ is going to settle down into this role for however much longer he's with the Lakers, and I actually think that he'll probably has have the most success in this role coming off the bench. He's just, we just got to give it some more games. Give it some more time. And the most important thing is these guys got to knock down some damn shots. Help the guy out a little bit, man. Just make some shots
yeah,
and help the guy out. Things would be better.
yeah. If they start banking shots, the lanes are gonna open for Russ to be really, really, really effective inside. I mean, it's gonna be a whole different Ross if they start banking shots, because then the lanes are gonna open and he's gonna be able to get in and do a lot of damage to the defense.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see that, man. I think it's there. It's a possibility. But again, him and these guys, all they have to do is just start making some shots, and then these other teams that we're playing, they'll be forced to play a little bit more honest defense, and then
Yeah,
they'll things will just be opened up a little bit more.
yeah. And Ross defensively is being good.
He's been fine. He's been buying in with that, but it's just kind of weird and frustrating. We see him. He's been doing what he's been asked to do defensively, but then we still go out there and see him missing these wide open layups. I really just can't understand how this,
I think
how,
it's
how that's
about
how this happening.
confidence. Like I think his confidence. It's really hard when the fans and even an announcer. I think it was like no when he shot. I don't know if he was a 3 point shot that time, but every time he steps on the line and shoots, fans go like no. So
Yeah,
so then you start guessing yourself even in the easiest,
yeah,
you know.
that's yeah, yeah. It's got to be really mentally tough for him, man. But he's just gonna have to power through it, man. The rest of
Yeah,
the team just got to power through it.
yeah.
AD is catching a lot of slack right now, man, and it is what it is. If he's hurt, he's hurt. It is what it is. But you can look at him this season, man. Okay, the guy, he is trying to try to pay through some pain, but I just don't think I'm not questioning his heart, but I just don't think his body or uh, he's just not a type of guy who can his level his pain threshold level is low.
He
So
needs
he just
another
he
big
can't take
guy.
it. Huh?
He needs another big guy.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I
Definitely,
thought I
The
thought
Lakers
they
will
were
they
gonna,
would they the Lakers would be better served to build around him. Moving forward, they'd be better served to build around him and get some people that complement him instead of just these shooters. Man, get somebody down low that can bang to free up AD. We've seen that. We've seen him have the most success when teams do that. When the Pelicans went out and got Boogie, what happened? When
yeah.
he came to the Lakers in 2020, he had Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. What happened? I don't know. The Lakers, they better take a look at that. You know, moving forward.
Do you think if the Lakers had an opportunity to get Boogie now, do you think it would help?
I, I I don't think so. I think I figure like this: if the Lakers thought Boogie could help them, he'd be here.
Yeah,
But see, here's the funny thing about Boogie. You know, we saw him play good. Um, he had a couple of stops last year, but neither one of those teams decided to bring him back this year. Why is that? You know, so obviously something's going on. I think it's defense. I think that's the reason why he's not playing right now. But you know, on the outside looking in, he looked to play well in Denver, but you know, for whatever reason, they didn't bring him back.
do you think the Lakers might be looking to tank?
Mm, no, it doesn't. It will serve them no benefit to tank because the Pelicans have the pick swap for next season.
Yeah,
So if the Lakers tank, obviously they're going to take the Lakers pick. You know, if the Lakers tank and get on the lottery, obviously the Pelicans would decide to exercise a pick swap and take the better pick, and then the Lakers, you might as well just automatically assume yes, the Lakers will have a first round pick next year for 2023, but you might as well just go ahead and expect it. It's going to be in the high 20s because it'll be the Pelicans pick because I'm pretty sure the way it looks now, the Pelicans are going to finish higher than the Lakers in the standings, and if they do, the Pelicans will exercise the pick swap, and whatever pick that the Lakers have, let's say if the Lakers have the number 15th slot, let's just say they regroup, you know, and get in the playoffs. You know, either way, the Pelicans are going to take the better pick next season. So there's no tanking for the Lakers. It's not going to happen.
yeah. So if the Pelicans take uh, that first rounder, will the Lakers have the 24?
They'll take the Pelicans pick. So it is what it's called. I mean, it is exactly how it's called, swap. Both teams have first round picks next year, right? But the Pelicans have the option to take if the Lakers' pick is a better pick, they have the option to swap it for their own pick.
Okay,
So the Lakers will have, a 2020 first round pick right now, but we just don't know what position to be in.
yeah,
That's what I just said. You might as well just assume it's going to be in the 20s because you might as well assume that the Pelicans are going to be in the playoffs, right?
yeah.
So you might as well assume that the Pelicans will finish with a better record than the Lakers. So if that's the case, they will undoubtedly exercise their option and swap the picks.
Okay, yeah.
So the funny thing about it is, and I don't want to talk about the Clippers again, but do you know the Clippers? The Clippers do not have a first round pick. Take a wild guess when the Clippers have their own first round draft pick.
What did they said? I got a comment here. Can you see it? We're yeah, grateful but spoiled because I losing they would appreciate. Huh. All right. So
I couldn't see it.
yeah, can you see it? Yeah.
No.
It says that. the fans will react. Talking about the fans, they will react ungrateful and spoiled because they won't appreciate NBA history with LeBron passing Kareem. I'm assuming this comment comes from somebody who either is another team's fan or a LeBron's fan. I look, um, we Lakers fans might be spoiled, but we don't consider that a bad thing. Like, if you are a fan of a team, you want that team to win every year. If
Of
you don't,
course,
there's something wrong with you.
of course,
You
of
know,
course.
and
Um,
this comment is from somebody who I think this comment it reminds me of what JJ Redick said, that this year was a year to celebrate LeBron achievement more than anything else, because the Lakers are not going to win anything. And so it's not that we fans aren't grateful. He's a Cap fan. He just, let me, Derby 50, yes. Oh, you're okay. He says, I'm a Caps fan, and I just feel bad how your fans treat him.
we don't treat him bad.
We don't treat
We
LeBron
don't treat
bad.
him bad, but we ain't gonna kiss his ass either.
It's exactly that's the thing. We're like, LeBron is human.
Yeah, you know what? Cavs fans have had one great player to cheer for in their existence. Lakers have had 20 to 30. So
Yeah,
so you know it's just two different things, man. So Cavs, I don't expect Cavs fans to understand Laker fans' mentality because it's just two different things, man. So
yeah,
yeah, we like LeBron. We respect LeBron. We acknowledge records that he breaks, but us winning is more important than him breaking
yeah,
all these damn records.
yeah. And the thing is, LeBron. I think LeBron feels the same way. He wants the championship. Records for him is something that it's great. It's great to have,
He
but
has all the damn
I'm
records
pretty sure
already.
that he's upset about not winning either.
Yeah,
You know?
man. But hey, man, are we? Is game time?
Yeah, it's game time pretty soon, so
Yeah,
let's end this. Thank you very much for fans watch LA Sports Live. Here's Perspective Look X Lakers fandom. We are saying bye bye, and
go Lakers.
go Lakers.
All right, my brother. Hey, thanks for the invite.
Okay.